We got the media team in here. We're the media
We're the
team.
media team. We got content. TV's in the go. We got TV in the go, Wack.
You looking for that fire Clubhouse content? Well, you need to subscribe to the homie. Hey, yo, Clubhouse TV. Let's get to the content.
That's a good one.
Yo, check it out. We got Wack 100 reacting to Diddy and his NDA contract. So let's get to the content. Listen to what Wack talking about. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Run the content.
In the block.
So that is crazy. I wonder. So technically, how long was Cassie's NDA? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Probably, it had to have been some type of ending on that for her to speak on some of the stuff, but till people die is crazy. I know Wack had sent in the NDA, and I was trying to get a couple of people to go ahead and
well, when it comes to any kind of crime or any illegal activities, that shit is out the window.
It's void.
Oh yeah. That's
voids
definitely
out.
voided.
Okay.
Right. That's definitely voided.
So that's how Cassie was able to just do what she did.
Oh,
I
okay.
think he was threatening him with that tape. He got him. She got the nigga to pay, and it still came out.
Yeah. That does not protect you from any criminal activity at all.
But I don't know when it come down to the sexual. I don't know if they signed it, if whatever they talking about is admissible at that point in time.
Are you talking about bringing in like the other people to...
All them people that got civil suits and all that?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
If you signed an NDA based upon going in there to do those activities.
So does the alleged like drug intake or whatever, does that change anything up from
that could.
Yeah,
if it was involved with shit, I don't know. I don't know, that's a little different. They got a lot going on.
Hey, that NDA is so damn long. It's crazy.
That nigga said
no way they read that shit.
20 years after I'm dead.
Oh, it's 20 years after he's dead. Oh yeah. And they signed that. You know they wasn't reading all that Wack. They just signed it because they trying to get up in the little situation.
Yeah, they half one was probably half intoxicated.
Yeah, but we're going to read that out. We got to read that out. That shit was so detailed and so long.
Yeah, I want to hear it too.
I know, yeah, for sure. It was a couple of people.
It's in the chat back there.
Yeah, you sent it to me. Let me see.
Oh, you got it, one or two.
It says Standard Combs NDA. This is a standard one. Wow. All right, so this confidentiality agreement is made and effective as of, and it has confidential written over it, by and on behalf of, it says confidential in parentheses, you. The term you shall include the estate, each corporation and or other businesses, entities in which you have an ownership or beneficial interest in any and all persons and or entities owned and or controlled by you and or such businesses. I.e. affiliates, employees, officers, directors, managers, accountants, and agents, and all of your respective heirs, executors, representatives, administrators, employees, licensees, successors, and assigns, for good and valuable consideration, collectively consideration is in parentheses, the receipt and sufficiency of which are hereby acknowledged. The receipt and sufficiency of which are hereby acknowledged by you and hereby irrevocably agree as follows. 1. Sean Diddy Combs, aka Puff Daddy, in parentheses, artist, privacy is highly valued and all efforts will be made to maintain confidentiality with respect to all information and other material of any kind, including without limitation the term, conditions, and existence of this agreement. Concerning and or related to directly and or indirectly artists and or any person, corporation, and or other entities related to the affiliate and or associated with the artist personally and or professionally, in parentheses, including without limitation family members, relatives, and past or present fiancés, husbands, wives, boyfriends, girlfriends, friends, and business associates. Collectively, artist parties in each an artist party except for information or material publicly and internationally disclosed by artists. You hereby irrevocably agree that you shall not at any time use or disclose directly or indirectly to anyone any of the following information and information acquired by you in any manner and or by any medium or means whatsoever at any time in the past, present, or future which concerns or in any way relates to the artist. Any artist parties in or artist businesses activities. Hold on 1 second, please. Can you continue, Kita?
Yes. Okay. I have to jump back to the page. Where was it? Hold on, I'm looking for it. Dang, hold on. I have to go right back to it. Is it 1A?
Okay. I'll
I
pick back up. I'm
okay,
sorry.
because I see
Okay.
you were on 1A though, right?
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I was on the 1A part. Artist party, whether prepared or on behalf of you, otherwise coming into your possession, is and shall remain artist's sole and exclusive property and shall not be disclosed, removed, sold, disseminated, copied, or otherwise used in or exploited by or behalf of you without the artist's prior written consent. C. Without limiting and foregoing without artist's prior written consent, which may be withheld for any or no reason, you shall not authorize any third party to photograph, film, otherwise record any sound, likeness, and or activities of artists and or any artist parties of any kind or nature, whether personal, professional, or otherwise, including without limitation any appearance, performance, and or rehearsal by artists, and or any other activities during or related to any service or activity performed by the artist and or any other artists slash parties. D. Without limiting the foregoing, you shall not authorize or facilitate any third party to, whether oral or written, write or prepare or assist in the preparation of any books or articles, whether fictional or non-fictional, make any remarks of any kind, or create any materials in any media, including without limitation confirming and or denying any confidential information related to artists and or any artist parties, to or for use by yourself and or any third party, including without limitation print and or broadcast media, which interviews, books, articles, remarks, and or materials concerned. Discuss or reference artists and or any artist parties in any manner whatsoever. In parentheses, all information and materials in paragraph 1A through D, whether or not publicly disclosed by others, the prohibited material. You hereby irrevocably grant, convey, transfer, and assign to artists all worldwide rights, titles, and interests, including all copyrights and any renewal, extension, or similar rights, and any prohibited. All right, next part. Prohibited material, whether or not the same and are used and are exploited, and regardless of the medium involved. An artist may register such copyright in his own name, in parentheses, or the name of any designee, and without parties shall be entitled to recover any and all monies or other benefits whatsoever received by or on behalf of you from any and all sources in connection with and use of the dissemination by or on behalf of you of any confidential information in or prohibited materials hereunder, and any such monies or other benefits so received by or behalf of you shall be held in trust or on the behalf of you for immediate payment to artists and or artist parties. You shall not be authorized to facilitate any third party to use and or reference artists and or artist parties named or identity, including your relationship with the artist and or artist parties. With respect to any transaction, sale or goods or other solicitation, and parentheses F, without limiting the foregoing, you shall not at any time defame anyone. You shall not, let me see, defame any artist and slash artist parties and use, disclose, disseminate, or confirm directly or indirectly to anyone any information or material which may harm, disparage, demean, or reflect negatively or poorly upon or cause injury to the reputation, character, or career of the artist and or any artist party. The foregoing expressly includes, without limitation, communications appearing on the internet via blogging and or social networking sites such as Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Without limiting foregoing, you shall not, without artist prior written authorization, parentheses, and artist sole discretion, A, tapes. A, distribute, publish, or permit the distribution or publication of photographs, videotapes, films, audio tapes, or any other recorded sound or image or any other material of artist slash artist parties, whether or not the same constitutes prohibited material. Or B, copy, excerpt, or otherwise use in or dispose of the artist and the artist parties materials, including any property or materials in your possession or control that belong to the artist and or the artist parties. Parentheses, and or if such property does not belong to the artist and or the artist parties, which contains prohibited material, to the extent you have not delivered and removed such prohibited materials therefrom as required hereunder, including without limitations data, documents, records, smartphones, computers, files, etc., and that upon expiration or termination of the relationship with or the connection with the artist or such earlier date as the artist may require, you and your legal representatives, heirs, successors, or assigns shall promptly deliver possession to artists in good condition any such property of artists and or artist parties and or other records, copies, excerpts, or other aforementioned materials that are in your possession or control. 2, you acknowledge that due to the nature of the entertainment industry and the disclosure or dissemination by you of any information or material described in paragraph 1 will deprive artists and or artist parties of the right to use such information or material. You expressly agree that if you breach or threaten to breach paragraph 1, artists and our artist parties would suffer immediate, irreparable harm and injury, which could not be adequately compensated by an award of monetary damage. In addition to all other rights or remedies available to artists and our artist parties shall be entitled to injunctive relief and all other remedies provided in such event by law or equity. Such remedies shall include, without limitation, the right to prevent dissemination of any information or materials described in paragraph 1. You agree to execute any documents and take such other actions as may be reasonable requested by artists and or artist parties to further evidence or effectuate the rights set forth in this agreement. You hereby appoint artists as your attorney, in fact, in parentheses, which appoints is irrevocable and coupled with an interest, in parentheses, with full power of substitution and delegation to execute all such documents which you fail to execute within 5 days after the artist and our artist parties request therefore. 3, the term of the agreement and duty to keep all information confidential and not use prohibited material shall commence on the first date above and continue for the life of the artist plus 20 years or 70 years, whichever is longer. You warrant and represent that you have full right, power, and authority to enter into this agreement and be bound by the obligations herein. B, neither the execution, delivery, nor performance of this agreement by you shall conflict with or result in a default or loss of rights under the agreement or understanding to which you or any of the affiliates or any of your affiliates is a party, or by which you and any of your properties may be bound. This agreement constitutes your valid and binding obligation enforceable in accordance with its terms. D. You have signed this agreement voluntarily, without duress, coercion, or undue influence. This agreement shall be deemed to have been entered into the state of New York, and its validity, interpretation, and legal effect shall be governed by the laws of the state of New York, applicable to contracts entered into and performed entirely therein. The New York courts only will have jurisdiction over all controversies regarding this agreement, and any action or proceeding which involves such a controversy will be brought solely in the courts located within the state of New York. You hereby consent to the personal jurisdiction of such court and waive any objection based on personal jurisdiction, venue, or forum non-convened. This agreement embodies our entire agreement with respect to the subject matter hereof. This agreement shall ensure to the benefit of and be binding upon the parties hereto and their respective heirs, executors, administrators, representatives, members, owners, shareholders, licensees, successors, and assigns. This agreement may not be transferred or assigned in any manner by you. An attempted transfer or assignment shall be deemed null and void. Facts, copied, and scanned signatures of this agreement shall be deemed effective as originals. You agree to defend, identify, and hold artists and the artist parties and their respective parents, subsidiaries, affiliates, licensees, assignees, and their officers, directors, members, managers, agents, distributions, and employees harmless from and against any and all liabilities, damage, judgments, losses, costs, and expenses, in parentheses, including without limitations, reasonable counsel fees of any kind of nature whatsoever, which may be sustained or suffered by or secured against any of them by reason of, based upon, or relating to any breach of any of the provisions, representations, or warranties contained herein, or by virtue for the inaccuracy and or breach of the representations and warranties made by you hereunder to and any third party on behalf of the artist and or artist parties, or any claim, action, or proceeding asserted or instituted relating to or growing out of any such breach. 6. All covenants, terms, restrictions, and provisions of the agreement are servable. If any such covenant, term, restriction, and or provision is held by a court or other legal forms to, any other forms, covenant, terms, restrictions, and or other provisions is held by a court or legal forum to competent restrictions and any other provisions shall be amended to the limited extent necessary to valid and enforceable, and the remainder of the agreement shall remain in full force and effect. The parties acknowledge that the competent judicial authority shall be empowered to modify such invalid, illegal, or unenforceable covenant, term, restriction, and or any other provisions, if any, in accordance with this paragraph. 7. This is an important legal document. You acknowledge A, you have reviewed this agreement with your legal counsel or knowingly declined the opportunity to do so. B, your failure to review this agreement with your legal counsel shall not impair the legally and binding nature of this agreement. C, you have fully read and you understand and voluntarily accept all the terms and conditions of this agreement. You certify that you are 18 years of age or older, accepted and agreed, including acknowledgement of receipt of all consideration.
Well, the
Parties,
3:30
I
is
don't know shit
backyard
about
to in
that.
the house. After that 3:30 to the next morning and the weekend, some other shit.
I never
Shit, ain't
been
nobody.
around that arc, so I don't know.
But you
There's some
speaking,
other
but
shit.
Pitt, we're speaking on the parties. These people that are suing him is due to the parties. So we're not talking about, we
But the
know
crazy part about that, FD, is they went there to have the party.
party,
Like,
right?
Now,
come
don't get
on.
me wrong. It's probably a small percentage of people who got in there and got on something and woke up the next morning and didn't realize what they got into. I'm
Very
pretty
smart.
Well,
sure it's a
what got
couple of
into
them.
them?
So this is my thing. Like I was young. You know what I mean? Just like people know what is involved in that. Like you said, you've been to them, but you know it's a certain time that you leave because
When you out.
people are entitled to do what they want to do. You know, so there would be nothing wrong with, you know, people having consensual sex and shit like that. Yeah, you might not want it out there, but during these parties going on. That's why all these clauses were in there. That's why all these stipulations were in there. And like I said, Diddy takes people's phones. So it's not just a phone thing, Pitt, because he, you know, I've seen plenty of clips where, you know, even going on the boat with his daughters and shit, everybody was handing their phones. Like
Damn
they didn't
right.
have the phones.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I totally get that.
That's everything, man. If I can invite y'all to the studio of Blueface and I'm taking all y'all fucking phones.
There
That's
you go.
facts. You can't come in with no phone. And I'm just saying, everybody's
your
phone getting taken.
argument with, oh, they don't want nothing filmed, they don't want this, they don't want that, that shit is confiscated from in this box and you pick it up when you leave type
That's
shit.
a
So it's
fact.
like, yeah, no, and so I get that. So to go into details like this, you know what I mean? It just kind of rings to me like it was something off, something going on, something that needed to be after you sign it, or 20 years after he
Oh
dies.
no,
Like that shit right there.
it definitely was intended for. It covered. It was a blanket NDA. It covered, but then they covered the after parties.
And the
Right.
statute of limitations.
Yeah, it
Right,
covered
right,
all that.
right.
So it's kind of like.
Come on
But
now.
on some flip side is, I mean, you know, I get the law, but got dressed and left their panties at home because they knew they was finna go have free liquor and some free cocaine and some free pills, and they was hoping such and such was there, such and such was there, so they can get to it. So don't get me wrong, who you know
Who was with
got
it?
off something and didn't realize that where it was gonna go. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like everybody that get high don't feel like they gonna end up in something, right? But Jordan and them motherfuckers, they knew exactly what was going on.
So with him in trouble with the law, are these NDAs still valid?
Not what see where it's gonna breach it is the distribution of the drugs. The
Gotcha.
distribution of the drugs and them claiming some of them claiming that the liquor was laced. That's where the breaching happens. And then they talking this
Pay
shit to
attention
the
to it.
minors, right? Ain't none of them filed a criminal. It's all civil. And me personally, I've never heard with no kids
Me
personally.
neither, Unc.
You know, I ain't never heard that. That nigga too arrogant. Somebody would have told on that nigga.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I've never heard that. So I'm curious to see what those allegations look like.
Right, because it's what, three? Is it three minors? Or
Yeah, like ages
What? Wow.
14?
nine to something. Yeah, so I've never.
Was that on the Nickelodeon set? That wasn't at the party, I
See,
don't think.
hey, Unc, so
No,
far
no,
what
no,
I'm
no.
hearing,
These kids are saying that they were invited. Like of course, they're showing these clips the way they want to show these
Nah, I
clips,
don't know
right?
none of the details. They just the allegations are
Well, there
saying.
was a clip that, you know, I guess they tried to make it seem like, which I didn't get that from it, but I guess he was saying, "Hey, you gonna come to the party?" or invited a kid to his party. You know, there's some clip going around
Yeah,
out
I mean,
there.
but he got kids
You're
though.
right.
yeah, he got young girls,
Like,
he got young boys. Like, y'all
And
gotta
he
understand,
had
his sons
adopted
is
that
still
one little.
young.
They said he adopted that one little like girl or whatever, the little white girl and some shit. I don't know. I don't know. But you definitely need evidence for me to speak on that or for me to really back that. Like, yeah, I'm definitely want to see what's going on with like the evidence and stuff because I've never. But kids, yeah, I've never heard that.
Clubhouse TV. Clubhouse TV. Clubhouse TV.
Yo, check it. Y'all heard the content, man. That's crazy. Diddy got the NDA that everybody was to sign, and it's so long. Like they said, I doubt that everybody had time to read it, especially when you're pulling up to the club or the crib or the mansion, wherever Diddy having a party at, and I'm sure you're intoxicated, you know what I mean? And he's got a 100-page NDA to sign. And then 20 years after Diddy's death, you still can't talk about it. Your family can't talk about it. You know, he knew that he was doing some outlandish, crazy things if you had to have an NDA and have it signed. That's just a further admission of guilt, if you ask me, because you knew you were doing things that were wrong if you had to have someone sign an NDA clause. You know what I mean? So, like they said, man, this thing is so long that you know that the people who signed it did not read every page of this NDA. So I want to know what you guys think about this NDA, man. Do you think that they knew what was going on during the signing of the NDA? Or do you think that things were added and that as long as you signed the NDA, he basically had you by the ropes? You know what I mean? Because he already got you signed the NDA. So I don't know, man. Let me know what you guys think about this content in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you're always up to date when I drop fresh new content. Subscribe to the media team so you always get that exclusive Wack 100 content. As always, I certainly appreciate y'all checking out Clubhouse TV, and I'll see y'all on the next drop. I'm out.